painful transition here, but if we're guaranteeing something, is that the Guardians offense, after looking really good for 6 days, is going to come back and just go completely MIA. Yeah. It was an ugly game in San Diego last night. They lose 5-0. The Guardians had 5 hits, all 5 singles, no extra base hits. They gave up 3 home runs. Who wants to start?
And there you have it.
Then other than that,
part of this also, I think, San Diego is supposed to be one of the best teams in the league, and I think they're
finally playing better.
They're starting to feel themselves a little bit. I think they've won 5 of 6 now and 7 of 10, and they are playing better. Waka was good last night, although let's not make Michael Waka out to be.
He's been good this year, but he's not great.
Yeah. So it's frustrating to watch these guys right now. There's no question.
Just
when you think they get their legs under them, they snap an ankle again.
So I watched about 5 innings of the game yesterday before I passed out, and then I was looking at the box score this morning. And the top 4 hitters in San Diego's lineup, and this is why we expected them to be really good this year, and they've been very mediocre. Fernando Tatis, Juan Soto, Manny Machado, and Xander Bogaerts.
Not bad.
I'm going to repeat that. Fernando Tatis, Juan Soto, Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts.
That's crazy.
All those guys are $300 million players. That's not a joke. They're literally, those combined are $1.2 billion worth of offense. They hit 3 home runs. Their first 3 hitters, leadoff, second, third, all hit a home run yesterday. The Guardians hit 5 singles. The Guardians' offense is like playing with fire. Sometimes it'll work. You're going to burn yourself a lot of times. And at the end of the day, I'm not sure how we can say this time after time, day after day, week after week. Winning without power in the MLB in today's day and age is unsustainable. It can work for a week. You get hot. We saw over the homestand. Naylor was hot. Brennan was hot. Jimenez was hot. Jose was hot. Naylor was scorching hot. And when you have a bunch of guys get hot, they hit a bunch of singles, doubles every once in a while, you can score some runs. But in totality, over 162 games, it is not a sustainable formula to win.
You know why this is great? Because I think this is it. Like when you talk about marketing and you talk about business, the Guardians slide on a lot of things. And you know why they slide on a lot of things? It's because you really like them.
Yeah.
They are just so likable. The front office gives you the quotes. We love them. They're nice. They talk. They're business minded. The team is full of a bunch of nice guys, right? And if you think of it, like you think about it, it really puts you on. It really puts you on the like. You always think, nah, I shouldn't do that. Come on, I'm being too hard on them. It's a long season. I'm being too hard. They got the bats together the other day. And I think that's also a product of how long the season is. Because people can't be outraged every third day. You just can't muster it. Like during presidential elections, right? People used to do stuff crazy every day. You'd be like, I can't call it out. I just can't call it out no more.
Yeah.
Just let them go. This ain't that bad. So you can't call out the Guardians' bats every day. They just lose 5-0, and you kind of like, okay, well, let's see if they'll win tomorrow. And that's what they are. But it's brilliant. It's brilliant marketing. I love it.
And so we have this conversation back in the production room after every show. How are we going to talk about the Guardians tomorrow?
Right.
And last season, we went back and looked at all our rundowns. We constantly do, what are we talking about today? And let's rewind a year, see what we talked about. We didn't talk Guardians every day. So it made it easy once or twice a week to be like, oh, their bats are going cold. We had Deshaun Watson and that whole saga. We had Baker Mayfield and that whole saga.
Right.
And we were a brand new show. We had like 6 guests a day. And we were like, oh, yeah, that's how we got through all this Guardians day-to-day talk.
That's what
because we didn't talk Guardians every day. And now I feel bad for Zach Meisel. I feel bad for the Guardians beat writers. I don't know how on a day-to-day basis, because nothing changes game to game. Like, they could be hot one game, and we come back, and are they World Series contenders? The answer's still no.
And at least Big Nuggets, they had young guys last year that didn't expect to do nothing.
Yeah.
So when they overachieved or all of them played well, you still got that warm and fuzzy feeling, even if they weren't hitting a couple days.
And the worst part, they're still going to win the division. And I guess that's the best part and the worst part. They're still going to win the division because the AL Central is an absolute cluster truck. See what I did, Steve? I didn't
cluster
say it.
truck.
You like that?
Well done.
You got them winning the divisions?
No, I'm not.
Really?
I'm not convinced. I just think this is one of those years where it just seems everything is just going against you, and it's hard. It's hard for me to sit here today and say they're going to win the division. But having said that, Tito's teams play their best ball in July and August.
Yeah.
So I still think the best is yet to come. Whatever that is, whatever form that takes, whatever that looks like for this team, I do think their best is in front of them still, because just historically speaking, that's how it's always gone. But it's hard to feel like this team has any sort of run in them. At this point, it is what it is.
They feel lifeless. And not the team, and G, sorry to cut you off,
No.
but like, if a basketball team's, I'm going to use a kid's word, you ready? If a basketball team's mid,
Yeah.
at least they have like that one guy you go and you could see LaMelo Ball. The Hornets were terrible, but like LaMelo Ball could put up a triple-double and be entertaining.
Yeah.
No one wants to see, or no one wants to go to a basketball game and watch Cody Zeller make layups. And that's honest to goodness what it feels like.
You say they got a bunch of Cody Zellers?
They just got through to it singles, and the equivalent in single is a guy in basketball who doesn't dunk, doesn't shoot threes, and has like a halfway decent drop step and layup. Like Al Jefferson was an all-star. You could be really good and not be exciting. Wow. They just got a bunch of dudes who aren't exciting, and even like Shane Bieber, who's an ace, or is gonna get paid like an ace and is a former Cy Young winner. He's had 2 games this year with over 8 strikeouts. Even like on the pitching side of things, what's the most exciting play in pitching? A strikeout, right?
A hit batter.
Well, okay, yeah, I'm saying a good thing. A good thing. Yeah, you're right, but
Right.
in a good way. And like, yeah, they have guys. Savali, like his over/under on strikeouts yesterday was 4.5. When Bobby pitches, he's still a young guy. His over/under is like 5.5. When Scherzer, who's not having a good year, or Verlander, or DeGrom, their over on strikeouts is like 10.5, 11. So even like, it's just hard to get excited when it's not an exciting product on the field. I'm sorry, that was a rant, and maybe it made no sense. But
I was going to ask Jason because, obviously baseball is his favorite sport. So the way it's set up is the Guardians will always be in contention, basically, unless there's a pretty good chance they'll always be in contention based on where they play. So that means they'll probably make the playoffs, but not really be able to make any noise. Will there ever be a time where you say, coming into that season, they got to win the World Series or make it to the World Series, or I'm going to be pissed? I don't think it's ever going – the way it's set up, I don't think there's ever going to be a time because there's too many things baked in the cake. The one thing is that they're not going to spend a lot of money. 2, if they do have a bunch of players that actually turn really, really good, they can't keep them. 3, the division is mid. And even if you do win a division, you still got to go play the monsters with all the bats and all the money. So is there ever a time you get this small gratification? It's like, it's just, I guess it's like, I don't know, going on a date with your cousin, but third cousin.
I don't know. You had me until the last line.
It's like
I was following so well, too.
Yeah. I think, it's been 70-plus years since they won a World Series. Every year should be, this is the year to try and win the World Series. Every year. It's, 7 decades later. But I do wonder if payroll plays into expectations with this team because, the Cavs a couple years ago, it was championship or bust.
Yes.
There's no doubt about it. If you don't win a championship, it is a disappointment. We're starting to get there with the Browns.
What you mean? Look, to this year, this is the most pressure I've felt in a long time.
Yeah, I don't know that it's championship or bust with the Browns, but it's
be damn good.
It's playoffs.
Be damn good or
yeah,
bust.
And with the Guardians, it's always viewed differently. And I think because baseball is its own beast with 162 games and with the fact that it's a little bit harder to make the postseason. I know it feels like the Guardians make the playoffs every year, but they really don't.
Yeah.
The White Sox should be better than what they are. The Tigers used to spend a ton of money. They really don't anymore. The Twins are what they are. But I think that you look at the Guardians and you go, well, they can't really compete with the Yankees and the Dodgers and these big spending teams. But yet you look at what the Rays are doing with a young roster in a smaller payroll. So it is possible. But I just don't think that we ever really view – in the 90s we did. In the 90s the expectation was a World Series. Mm-hmm. But it just hasn't felt that way. I agree for the last 20 so years, it hasn't felt like it's championship or bust with the Guardians. And I think there's a lot of factors that go into that.
You look at
it's never like when the Guardians lose in the playoff, you don't get that. Like the gut punch you got from the Cavs, right? You don't have the same.
Well, I think the Game 7 loss in 2016 was a gut punch to true Guardians fans. That
one. Yes.
There's a lot of Cleveland sports fans who are just Cleveland sports fans who were like, we had the Cavs. It sucks they lost, but we just came off a championship celebration.
I saw somebody at Target do that same thing right now.
The thing is,
but the true then there's hardcore Guardians fans who are devastated by 2016.
And the thing with baseball, and small market teams in particular, is you have to have so many stars align at once. And you see it happen. It happened for the Guardians Indians in 2016. It happened for the Royals right before that.
The Nationals.
The Nationals. It's happening to the Rays right now, and the Rays have been able to sustain this for a couple years, which might be the craziest thing in all of sports, because you look at their lineup and pitching staff year to year, even from 2020 to 2021, 21 to 22 to this year, they're almost essentially different teams. They have found ways to replicate and repeat.
It's witchcraft.
Rinse and repeat. It makes no sense. It legitimately makes no sense how they just have guys in the farm system come up and immediately produce. But you look at, I'll use the Royals for an example, just because I know some of those names. But they had all these guys: Alex Gordon, Moustakas, Hosmer. They still have Salvi Perez. He's the only guy left. But those guys were all on rookie deals before they got their big payday in their prime at once. In Cleveland, you had Lindor on that situation in 2016. Give me some other names there. Brantley was like that. Who else got paid after? Frankie. Kipnis.
Jose
was young. So you have to have all these guys come together at the right time. Baseball is a year-to-year sport. There makes no sense why one guy hits 320 one year and then 215 the next. And like Jimenez, for example, it's not like he forgot to play baseball. It's just a lot of it's luck and habits and circumstance. So everything has to align this year so far through 69, 70 games. Things haven't aligned. Doesn't mean it can't. They can get hot for the last 100 games of the season. It's unlikely, or 90 games of the season, that everything's just going to snap on a finger and turn around. But in baseball with these small market teams, you have to be so lucky in the right place at the right time with the right people, the right manager. Everything has to break your way. And for the Guardians this year, it hasn't. Earl,